Welcome back, everybody, to our rankings for Big Brother 23 this season. A week is in the books, and after a week, we've had some people up and down on our rankings this week, so
Yeah.
should be interesting.
I'm ready for a nice, relaxing week. Just, not too much chaos, hopefully.
That's not happening.
Well, Frenchie's
That's
still in the
not
house. It's not
happening.
happening, yeah.
That's not happening. Was that like sarcastic? Like, were you actually hoping that? Okay, good.
No, it's
Okay.
not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Not at all.
Well, we'll begin with Frenchie in last place still. With a 1.0, he's down 0.25 from last week.
Wow. Did everybody give him a 1?
I gave him a 0. Alex gave him a 2. You gave him a 1. So
I didn't give anybody a 1. Up until Frenchie blew up today, I was like, there's a possibility Frenchie makes it out alive.
So what was the blow up? What happened?
It seems like what happened. Okay, so we'll jump the gun here a little bit for feed watchers. So what happened was with the wild card competition, right? Frenchie competed, didn't win, and then apparently blew up, telling Whitney and people, I think Christian was there too or something, saying that the slaughterhouse is done or something, and he like walks away. And everyone's like, he created it. Like it's now. Now they're all having, before the feeds cut, Colin was having like 5-minute one-on-ones, like right before noms, to sort of sort things out. But it's just like everything is now out in the open, and everything's confusing for the slaughterhouse members, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, it's Frenchie. It makes sense when you think it's Frenchie. Like Frenchie's one doing this.
He really is
very paranoid.
He really is Devin 2.0. Like, what was it, Devin and Caleb, where Devin just stood up and was like, this alliance is no more, out in the backyard.
What the fuck?
Another player that way overplayed in the beginning and went home really soon. So hopefully Frenchie too.
What week?
It's crazy.
Is this 16? Is this season 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of that season only because of like Caleb and Zach and Frankie and all that. So
the crazy part about Frenchie to me is if he wasn't so paranoid and just so crazy, he would actually probably be in a better spot this week.
That's why I gave him a 2.
He's the one dismantling his own self.
Yeah, like he actually, if he kept his mouth shut, he actually did enough work to like somehow randomly put him in a good spot because he made a huge alliance that people didn't want to, all of a sudden break it already. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually was safe. I was more worried that like Brittany and Derek X was going to be the ones going up because Colin's also in that little alliance. But the fact that he did this, like he does deserve a 0. I should have never given him a 2. I should have adjusted for what he could be doing instead of what he's currently at, So it's deserved. He should go home, honestly.
Yeah, if he just keeps his mouth shut, he pretty much has an alliance on kind of each side of the house, and he's in the middle of it. I'm telling you, man, that paranoia really gets to you.
But like,
it's no
that
joke.
Paranoia is all self-made. Like, not that paranoia isn't inflicted, but like he created everything. Like he was god of this. Like he was the god of BB season 23. I feel like he created all this drama, all these alliances, every single thing, and now he's dismantling every single thing again. It's ridiculous.
I think he went too far with the things he was promising. Like he promised way too many people safety really quickly, and it backfired.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Frenchie? I think he speaks for himself, but any other thoughts?
Frenchie, you should come on the show. I feel like Frenchie, if he gets out before jury, he is going to go into a rabbit hole of watching every single, because he's already a super fan, right? He's going to watch every single podcast, even ours, even like one that has no views, whatever. He's going to look at all of them and he's going to like really be upset or maybe happy. Maybe this is what he wants. I don't know what he wants.
I think he still thinks he's popular because today he was wishing that America votes so he could be saved. So he thinks he's liked.
Frenchie, Yeah, I
No.
thought you were on Twitter. I thought you were a super fan. You should know and recognize that people won't like this behavior. Like, I don't understand what you think you're doing, but I
Do
don't
you
know.
agree with my preseason assessment now that he is actually a fan? He just got way too excited
No,
to be
I don't
there.
even know.
No,
I just think that he might be a fan, but I think he's just he's delusional. Like I think that he's delusional in
I
the
think he
sense
is
that,
a fan, but he's also delusional.
yeah, I don't think he's like all worked up to play. Like he's too like I don't think so. I think that him being in his house for like 8 to 9 days now, like it's just clear to me that he never had reality like in his like he doesn't know what reality is. Um he surrounds himself with people. I don't even believe that his best friend's a gay black man. There's no fucking way. There's absolutely no way. He goes LGB. He spelled out the name like completely awkwardly, like an 80-year-old man. It was so bad to watch. Like, there's no way. This guy is a
you
troll.
know,
This guy.
I texted Nick and was like, in the back of my mind, I kind of think Frenchie is a production plant.
He's an actor. He's a paid
Like
actor.
they're feeding him all these things to say about minorities.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think they're feeding him a bunch of paranoia, though. I think.
I think production's making him worse than he is. I can totally believe that. I don't know about the paranoia, maybe, but it's also like gassing him up on different things. Like we know how in the feeds he was like telling people he needs to get all 8 of the slaughterhouse people for a shot for production because they asked for it. I'm pretty sure they're just gassing him up to make him do even crazier dumb shit because he's just he's bait. He's good bait. It's
Baiting
I
him
don't
for
know.
entertainment.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not like as bad as he is right now, but he is pretty bad. Like even in reality, I'm sure he's like kind of like this. Like there's no other way around it. He is ridiculous, and he is definitely like that in real life.
So it's Friday night, and I just have the results now that it is indeed Frenchie and Brittany that have
Really?
been nominated by Kylan. So
Go
Are the
Kyle.
feet up?
yes, feeds are now
Of
up.
course it is.
I hate that for Bertini, but good on Kylan for doing that. I think that's a good move for him.
I think it's it's probably the most safest move for Kyland to put out Frenchie and Brittany. So it is smart. I do fear that it's possible that Frenchie actually still stays over Brittany, but we'll see what happens. But I still think for Kylan's game, it's a good move.
I don't know if that's possible, but I do feel like it's possible that Brent wins veto and saves him or something like that. Because Brent's the one that just doesn't give up on things. Even though he gets mad at Frenchie, he always comes back and he always wants to fucking save this big ass alliance. So if that happens, then it's kind of a waste of a week if they try and eliminate Whitney or something.
Well, I think that would be smart. The only next thing to do is to get. But Whitney also blew up with him now. Like it's not Frenchie's really kind of alone.
I think Derek F's gonna be spiraling too because it's fucking crunch on Frenchie. But let's move on to 14.
Well, I was gonna say I know Frenchie wouldn't think of this, but I think a good strategy here, and maybe this is not believable at all because I don't think America likes him. But if worse comes to worse, starts people who are on the fence be like, look, production's hinting at America's favorite player or whatever, and I could have a power that could help you out next week.
I don't know if that's fair. Is that? I think it's against the rules or something.
To use
production, they pick and choose when you can and can't do it.
I mean, you could just hint at America's favorite player, not even say production.
But knowing Frenchie, he's gonna say something really not subtle. Like he's gonna get in trouble if he does something like that.
Well,
I don't think
I said he wouldn't think of it, but I think it would be a good play.
He might think of something similar. Actually, I'm gonna say he can make up really random lies, and that could totally be something.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna keep working. It was working so well. I feel like it's starting to finally. They see that he just lies about everything.
That's crazy. After 8 days, you finally realize that. Like Derek X believed in him a little bit. Like I'm like, this is actually bananas. Like you people are stupid.
Well, Brittany is our number 14th, who is now also on the block. She has a 3.0. She's down 4 spots and down 2.1 with her score.
She just didn't make enough connections, and she
Right.
tried to play under the radar, which is good, except she wasn't in any alliances, and also the person who won is just not on her rate, like it's not working with her. So I think it is dangerous to do something like that, to be so under the radar and not have any alliances. And that's why she's where she's at now. I actually put her below Frenchie because I was like, she's actually a really safe bet to like have someone like have a unanimous vote to be on her. You know what I'm saying? Like before the Frenchie blow up, she would be a really good, easy pick to go home because she wasn't working with anybody.
Yeah, the connections definitely aren't there, and a consequence of that is becoming a pawn against somebody that possibly everybody could get out of the house. But Frenchie's such a big character that there's a good chance he could turn it around.
Yeah,
And Brittany would go home. Pawns go home sometimes.
absolutely.
It's not a good place to be in. She's got to make more connections to work her way up the ladder, or else she's going to be a perma pawn.
Yeah. I think that she had her best connection probably right now is Sarah Beth.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's Azza. Okay, well that makes sense. They're teammates, but it just seems like she needs to make more connection with people who have more of a chance to win things. Like I don't think Azza or Sarah Beth, if they were really close to her, are gunning for things as well as like they're not winning things. So I don't know. She needs to be more sneaky.
Yeah, she doesn't even have the jokers on her side. Like if at
She
the end of the
doesn't. They
weekend
don't
it's
care about
Frenchie
her.
and Brittany, Big D is going to vote to keep Frenchie because he has a final two with him. And Azza has said a couple times that it could be beneficial to the cookout to keep Frenchie around
Yeah.
because we could feed him stuff and he would
Yeah.
blow up the house for us.
Yeah, I think Frenchie, I'm gonna give Frenchie a little bit of credit here in the sense of he's so random that it randomly struck on something. Like last week, all this random stuff that he did, he actually positioned himself kind of well somehow. Even his blow up, I think, could possibly still work in his favor, in a sense that everyone's like, no one trusts Frenchie, so why take him out now? That might be a thing that helps.
But I think the thing is though, with Brittany being the one, is that I don't know. Are they really going to come to the consensus to vote out Brittany over him?
Yes.
But why?
The house voting out Frenchie, I mean, he could turn it around easily.
Yeah, but then he could shoot himself in the foot again easily, just as fast.
I mean, like I said, it's a dangerous place for Brittany because on one side, it could be a unanimous vote to get out Frenchie, but he could do something super crazy that gets the votes flipped onto her and he survives another week. I mean, it's just she's in a tough spot.
Well, I would say
to win veto.
If Brittany were to go home, I don't think it's because Frenchie did something. I think it's more like the rest of the house kind of like thinking that there's no way Frenchie will ever have anyone really on his side. So they don't mind getting rid of Brittany because she's floating a little bit more or coasting, whatever the freaking terms are.
I don't know. I just feel like they could say the same thing about Brittany, though. Like if you really have the two options and it's Brittany and Frenchie, like
I
with the person.
I would vote Frenchie out, obviously, like for me personally. But what I'm saying is it's a really good possibility that it could also be the other way. Like, I don't know how people might act. It's not really out of the question that Frenchie will go home. It's not completely certain at all because of how crazy and unpredictable he is. Everyone else is also treating him unpredictably, you know?
I mean, it's not even that. It's that if you're the last one to talk to him, it benefits you because he's gonna listen to you and maybe do what you
but
say.
It benefits you for like
a
3 to 6 hours.
Yeah. Like you really have to be the last person to talk to him right before he enters like a decision-making stage. Like you have to be like the exact last person in the last second, which is just hard to do. Like he's definitely someone that you should take out. But I don't know. Because like Brittany, I think Frenchie at this moment probably will go home, but it's just that like if there was more people, if Frenchie was the first nominee, he actually might have survived, I think. Because I don't know. I just feel like Slaughterhouse right now is still sort of a thing. Because Colin keeps asking everybody who's in the Slaughterhouse, how would you feel if it was still the seven of us? Would you still want to work, or would you want to change it up or whatever? Like in Colin's mind, I think he still wants the slaughterhouse to continue without the maker of the group, which is like really funny to me. I'm like, just leave the damn slaughterhouse. No one wants to stay in it. No one.
Does anybody take Brittany or Frenchie off the block if they win veto?
Brent?
Maybe just Brent.
But I don't know. Brent is close with Whitney, so I feel like if Whitney and Frenchie got like beef or whatever.
Well, actually, maybe Derek F as well.
Derek F, but I don't think he would want to go for it.
And I just if Frenchie does come down, I could see Brittany going over everybody else.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
against Whitney.
Well, okay, so if Frenchie takes himself down, then and Brent goes up, Brent goes home.
Yeah.
So that's another possibility. That's kind of it though for me. I don't foresee anyone being put up against Brittany that will go home if it's not those two.
Number 13 is Alyssa with a 3.5. She's up one spot, but her score is the exact same as last week with a 3.5.
I gave her a 3. I think I gave her the exact same like score too. I don't think she improved her game. I don't think she tanked her game either. She is just sort of fighting like for air, I think, like she was one of the first nominees. She's the only one right now that's been nominated and survived, right? So it's like it's hard to come back from that. So she still has some room to grow, like obviously some room to grow. I just don't know if she's aligning herself properly either. She's not talking to the other side of the house much. If it wasn't Kylan or Brent and it was like someone like Claire, like she could have easily gone home. Because she's just not making connections with anyone else besides like the beefy guys.
I got nothing on her. I mean, she's the sex stool from what, season 21?
What? The sex what? The
Just
sex
non-existent.
stool?
Yeah, that's the sex stool.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Just
edit that out. Nick, we can't.
No, don't edit that out. Keep that in.
I was just saying I didn't see that season, but I've said all I need to say about Alyssa on my live feed shit. I don't really have much to say either. She's just playing Nicole Franzel, except she's not nearly as smart, so that's about it.
She's a super fan too, isn't she? She says she's a super fan, I think, on feeds. I don't know. I don't know if she's playing, and I don't think any super fan so far besides Tiffany is playing like a super fan. I don't know. But yeah, Alyssa didn't change much for me. Brittany was the only one that like went really down in this bottom tier.
I mean, I moved her down 1 point. I mean, just because she survived the block, yay. I mean,
right.
If she might get put up there again, it's easier to just put her up now. So
yeah.
No real connections. The only thing going for her is maybe winning a couple comps, but I'm not even sure that's possible now.
Number 12 is Derek X with a 4.15. He's up 3 spots. He's up 1.9, but he started so rough. He's learning the game every week, and he has another week now probably to learn the game.
Yeah,
so
he's like the product. He's like the prodigy. Like you're like watching him grow. Like he's a karate kid. And I think that's really fun to watch because he is sort of picking it up slowly, and he's not like blowing his game up either as well. He's lucky he has Tiffany. He's lucky he has Hannah now. Like Hannah was also giving him some tips. I don't know. I think he's lucky. I think he's a lucky man. For a lot of he won veto when he needed to. Like there's a lot of things that happened for him that. I mean, he's also unlucky because Frenchie targeted him randomly, that's also unlucky too. But it's like, I don't know, he's surviving, and I think he survives another week here. I don't think he would get backdoored in any sense after this Frenchie blow up. It was possible he was going home this week if Frenchie didn't blow up, but now that he did, it's like, why go after Derek in this case?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had faith that Kylan wasn't going to put him up because, as dumb as Kylan can sometimes be, I do feel like he's loyal to Derek X.
Yeah. So I was watching the feeds before before it cut, I guess. And the way Derek and Colin talked, it was kind of awkward in that 5-minute one-on-one. I mean, I guess it's all awkward, but oh, you're muted.
I felt like that was because Derek X sometimes doesn't know.
He doesn't know how
what
to
not to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says too much.
Sometimes he says too much. Sometimes he says nothing at all. So when Colin was asking him for stuff, he was like, I don't want to say. And he's like, you don't have to say anything. It just made it feel like they're not working together when they honestly should be. And Derek, honestly, the next sentence was like, I want to work with you, but didn't give any like kind of hint at that until he said it, you know? So it's like a little awkward between them, but I'm guessing that's just how Derek is. He's still learning, but I hope he doesn't get put up at all as a backdoor option, as anything.
No, I think him and Kylan are pretty solid. Like, it seems like a budding bromance.
Yeah.
Two genuinely nice guys that are just there to, you know, not play a dirty game, just a loyal game, and, you know, not trying to be mean to everybody.
Yeah.
So I see them working together for the future, for sure.
At first, it sounded like a fanfic. Like I thought you were reading us a fanfic. Like it was like two really nice guys budding. You know, I was like, okay, like where's this going to? But I understand what you mean. I agree.
Well, any last thoughts on Derek X?
No, I'm kind of rooting for him now. Like,
me too.
With Tiffany and Hannah and Claire and them taking him under their wing, and he's
Sarah
starting
Beth too. Sarah Beth, if you didn't notice, like at first before like last week, she was like, I heard Derek X saying my name, like I want to go after him. I don't know if that was ever true.
That's because she got that fed from Frenchie. So
okay, well there we go. So she was saying that, and then this week there was this really sweet moment in the bathroom where she apologizes to him and was like, I'm sorry that like I kind of contributed to like the meanness that you experienced or whatever. And I just feel like that was very genuine in a sense that they both feel good with each other now. And Sarah Beth wants to work with him, Claire, Tiffany, and Kylan, which is a great alliance, if a pretty good alliance.
I think the house is starting to see that he's just a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's nice to have around.
He didn't do anything.
I think what's in his back pocket is being able to excel at comps, and very unsuspecting at comps. I think
he should lay off a few comps right now, but definitely start playing when he's starting to get targeted again. Because I'm sure he is going to be someone that people are like, well, we could just always target Derek. Like he's not in any big alliances. Like he's not tight with everybody completely. So it's very possible that, he's going to be a number to put up as a nomination. So he needs to start cranking up when he needs to, not right now.
Yeah, I think he's always going to be at the bottom of an alliance. Yeah,
which is fine if you can survive it.
I mean, some people like to play from the bottom. I mean,
yeah. I kind of did that in my season, I feel. So
it cuts down on the decision making you have to do.
Yeah.
Like just makes the game more simple. But
you don't have that many connections to like not sever,
Right.
You just keep going.
But it's a dangerous game to play if that's what he's trying to do.
I don't think he could do that anymore, honestly.
I also believe he can't do that anymore, really. I don't think anyone can actually do that now. Like this season seems like if you're not working with people and like not explicitly talking to them, like you're gonna be put up. Like Brittany is a prime example. She didn't do anything. She just didn't talk game with Kylan at all. So
number 11 is Brent with a 4.5. He's down 6 spots. He's down 1.9.
Yay. You don't like him. I don't like him.
He's a douchebag, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his ability to sway opinions, given it was Frenchie's opinion that he swayed. But I feel like he really he really switched the target from Derek to Travis. Travis wasn't really Frenchie's target.
Yeah.
I think it was Brent's target, and Brent was the one who got him to go that direction.
I'll give Brent all the credit he deserves for the Frenchie stuff, right? Like controlling Frenchie. But I will also, on the same sense, say that Brent is an asshole that like people know and notice. Like him working so close to Whitney and then like saying she's really sensitive or something like that, like while like or defensive. There was something that happened last night where I'm just like, Brent, like there was no need to even like bring it up over and over in that little conversation. I just don't think that he will sway anybody else. Like he's not going to be able to sway anyone else to do his bidding. And like everyone sees through it. Like X saw through that he was taking all the credit and stuff like that. Like I don't think this guy is that subtle. And he was very paranoid after Kylan winning, even though they're on the same alliance. So I don't know about Brent's persuasion skills.
Okay,
I think Frenchie just likes him. Frenchie just likes Brent.
Let's take out the art of persuasion and ask, does he have the ability to make deals? Not necessarily get people to do what he wants, but make a deal with people. I mean, he's still pretty smooth talking, as much of an asshole as he is. But even if, you know,
I mean, if you think about it,
this week, I'll keep you safe next week.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about after the nominations were up for last week, everyone on the other side of Slaughterhouse wanted Brent out, right? Do you think Brent would be able to actually make a deal with any of those people to like keep him safe? I don't know. I feel like
crazier things happen.
Sure, but I at the moment I'm not seeing like evidence that Brent will be able to do stuff like that. It's just Frenchie. I mean, he was brilliantly getting Frenchie to do whatever, you know, and not put him on the block or Derek on the block. But it's like I don't hold that much weight for that because it's Frenchie. It's literally Frenchie.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't actually put weight on that.
I feel like he's also in a corner now.
Yeah.
And that he definitely needs Slaughterhouse to continue to be a thing, or he's kind of
he is next. Yeah, and he's a big meathead. So, or what did Frenchie call Travis? A stud bowl? A stud bowl? Is that what he said? Whatever he said is like that's what Brent is. So he's also next.
I mean, I moved him down regardless. So
yeah, same.
It's just I still think he can work some magic.
Potentially. With the right people, I think, yeah.
Number 10 is Derek F with a 4.85. He's down the most. He's down 8 spots. He's down 2.35.
Wow. So
I probably had a lot to do with that because I gave him a very low score.
Yeah, I kept him high up. Well, okay, this was made before the blow up, right? I didn't know that people were gonna find out that it was Derek F to do the Hinky vote that quickly. But I was kind of banking like prior to that, I thought that he actually still maintained a really good position. No one was really ever gonna target him at this current moment. But he's one of those players that you wouldn't give him the win either. Like he's not gonna persuade you to let him win the money. So I mean, I can understand why he's kind of low.
Yeah, I just feel like if Frenchie goes, I think he's going to be lost, honestly. He has Xavier and Azza, but he was playing this whole game thinking he's Frenchie's right-hand man.
Why? Why did he think Frenchie was like the way to go? I don't understand.
Because he wants to fuck him for whatever reason.
Yeah, but like he has good reads on other people. Why
not really?
I think he had good reads on Derek X at one point.
Big D is thinking with the little D, right?
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
Yes, and right now, from what I'm reading, it seems like he's annoyed on feeds that it's 2 people from his team that are nominated. I mean, I don't know why that matters, but definitely, I think he's just spiraling because Frenchie's nominated, honestly.
Listen, Frenchie has a wife and kids. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like,
He shouted out Frenchie's kids, so he thinks it's going to happen, apparently.
He what? He shouted out?
On the episode yesterday, he said hi to Frenchie's kids for him.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think he thinks anything's ever going to happen. I think he's just thirsty and, you know, admiring what he's looking at.
Something Like not expect, like you want something to happen, right? But like logically, it's just why even Frenchie? Why? Oh, I get so cringed at it because Derek, there's no need to.
It's cringy.
There's no need. Frenchie looks like a cracked out old Eminem, like even more cracked out. The way he talks too, and like the way he eats and drink, like it's just this gross. Like it's just grotesque. He's not
I'm
appealing.
telling you, he's a plant. He's a plant. Like
Stop,
everybody
he's an
thought.
actor. I'm gonna say he's an actor, not a plant. He's an actor. He's a trained actor who is trained to say all these different things to get people riled up for this season. Because honestly, a lot of people watching the season is like mad at Frenchie, but like unanimously together mad at Frenchie, you know?
Whoever hired him as an actor needs to demand a refund.
He's not an actor. He's a legit asshole who just sucks at the game.
Yeah, we can't downplay this. Like he is an asshole. Also, have you seen the swimsuit pics? His arm is all in Derek F's like area. Like maybe Derek F is onto something here. Maybe he is onto something. I was looking, I'm like, one, why is his feet so dirty? But two, why is his arm like in there? Like it's not even a position that's comfortable for him to lay on. He's just in his business. I don't know. Maybe Frenchie, maybe Derek F knows something here. Like he's picking up some vibes.
We're gonna move on to Whitney at number 9, who is at a 4.95. She's in the exact same spot, in 9th place, but she's down 0.75.
I gave her.
We haven't even broke the 5s yet.
I gave her a 5. She was the first 5.
What did I give her?
5.
Yeah, 5. 5.0.
I think Whitney was the same as Alyssa in the sense of like she didn't do anything to change her game, like improve or to make it worse. After this blow up, maybe even better. I don't know what happens to Whitney here.
Whitney has good ideas. She's just chained to in their big alliance. She's chained to dumb people.
Right.
Yeah, but she was quickly to say she's kind of out of it too. I think today she was like kind of.
Yeah, that's because Frenchie said he was out. He said it to her.
Yeah. But
I mean, me putting her down 1.5 honestly has nothing to do with the game. It's strictly based on my perception of her as a person.
Sandy Hook?
Yes.
Dude, I was telling Nick, like I'm using the site BMX whatever TV, and I'm like, why is there so many like Whitneys with crowns like in the background? I was like, why is that the background? And then Nick was like, yeah, it's a pretty like Republican like site. I'm like, why am I on here? Like,
because it works better than the other one.
And the chat is also like Queen Whitney. I'm like, what is happening here? They're calling her Queen Whitney for believing in like the Sandy Hook conspiracy. Like that is so weird. But Whitney is Whitney.
On Whitney on a game level, I mean,
it's
I don't
okay.
have much to say there.
It's whatever. She's in the middle.
Number 8 is Kyland with a 5.0. He's up 2 spots. He's up a 0.6. He's the HOH, trying to play the middle, but we'll see what happens.
If he doesn't win this HOH, I think I put him a little higher.
Yes. I think he didn't need to win this one.
Right.
Like he would have been safe. He was never on anyone's radar for this week. But he won, and now it's like if Frenchie and Brittany stay on the block, then he's okay. I think he's okay. Mm-hmm. His spot is okay. But if he has to make a new nomination and Brett's the one who won veto and took Frenchie off, like I think that Kyland, it's just so bad for Kyland. And it's just not going to be good. And I think that his spot will go much lower than.
I kind of hope that happens.
No, Days, get out of here.
I just maximum chaos, just like.
Well, then have Brittany win. Have Brittany win veto. I'm okay with that. That's chaos. I don't want Brett to win and then take Frenchie off. Who, like, why? I want one of them gone by this week. I want one of them gone.
I mean, the entertainment value of social media alone would be worth the week. Sure.
But then we'll lose a player that like we will want to see further. Whatever. I mean, if Brittany goes, if in that scenario, if Brittany goes, then whatever, it's okay. But
Kylan doesn't make, like, I guess this is a good decision, but I feel like he's all over the place with who he wants to align with. Like, he doesn't know if he wants to stay in the slaughterhouse, doesn't know if he wants to make a new alliance, and this is his big issue.
He's dipping himself into all different ponds here. I know for a fact he wants to work with Sarah Beth. And I know for a fact that he actually does want to work with Slaughterhouse and the Cookout, which leaves like 2 people left, right? Like that's the problem here. Like if Frenchie didn't blow up, then he would have had to put someone that he vetoed, that helped him, that saved him with a veto. Like that's insane behavior, and that will catch up to him. And if he did that, he would have been much lower because of that, you know? But he's lucky right now because Frenchie is just blowing shit up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Kylan is a player that I feel like people are gonna catch on in a sense that like they know he's not trying to do malicious things, but he is involved with too many people. He's just like cheating on everybody. So he's gonna be cut. He'll be the first to cut from Slaughterhouse. He'll be the first to cut from the Cookout, and Sarah Beth could just easily replace him.
He's also very emotional, being a
very emotional.
I could see him being a goat
as a person.
Would you say, Dave?
I could see him being a goat. Like, I think if he gets to the end, he's one of those that nobody really is going to respect his game.
It depends how likable he is.
I think he's likable, but he's already made decisions and actions that people are skeeved out on. So I feel like he wouldn't be like a goat necessarily. Like people know that he's kind of like he's playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's shady or paranoid or playing hard or whatever. Like people know that. I don't know.
But he hasn't done anything dumb yet.
No, he hasn't.
He just almost has.
He could have. He was thinking about putting Derek up, which I'm like, even though that would satisfy the Slaughterhouse, they're gonna be like, yo, you just put someone that vetoed you out. Like, that's insane. Like, you can't be trusted. Like, if Derek trusts you that much, why would you put him on there? That just doesn't make any sense. So the fact that it's even a consideration is what I'm saying is like bad gameplay, I guess, bad thinking.
Next is Sarah with a 5.4. She's up 6 spots. She's up 1.4.
I'm most excited to see her gameplay, actually. I think, I don't know if that's a popular opinion at all, but I think that how she's playing with Kylan and how she's working the entire house in terms of like staying under the radar, but also playing hard. I'm actually kind of interested in see how her game.
I don't see her as playing hard.
You don't think so?
I'm torn because we know she wants hard. She wants to play the floater rat game, but she's not playing the rat game at the moment.
She's not playing the rat game right now. No,
and I think she's scared to do that. You know, Nick is trying to put it in my
head. I don't think
head.
she needs to do that right now. I think if Frenchie goes home, maybe she should start playing like she's the next rat, you know, like she's the next crazy person in a sense. But right now, I don't think
I feel like she's still playing the rat game. It's not like, I don't know. She tells her team, this is my biggest problem with Sarah, is that she's very for her team, like this team twist isn't about to end in 2 weeks. So she's trying to always protect her team who don't even really fuck with her because they're in a big alliance with her. So it's like, I just don't feel like she sees the bigger picture.
Well, if you think about it, well, so I don't know what the actual twist is besides switching teams. Like, is she switching to a team that she chooses? You know,
I don't know how that
if that's the case, then I wouldn't have done that either, because then that
but see, I'm not just talking about that. I'm just telling she's always trying to keep her team in the loop with something.
Oh, okay.
Trying to save Alyssa with the girls, even though Alyssa doesn't fuck with the girls. It's like,
right.
I don't understand why she's trying to save people on her team that don't actually fuck with her.
I mean, that's a part of playing the floater game, is keeping those connections with all different factions of people in the house.
They're like superficial connections that like kind of hold a little bit of weight. So like the team, like she knows her team wouldn't want her gone, right? At this current.
Well, they can't get rid of her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like saving her teammates are good. Like having more numbers in her team to win comps right now is good for her. Like that's what she's looking at right now. She's not thinking about like, you know, connection. I mean, she wasn't close to Travis either, so there was no point in like saving Travis, I feel. But I feel like this week she might be playing harder because, you know, I don't know, the way she's talking to Colin, like she definitely wants to be in his ear and be the actual like person in command in that sense. And I think that I'm interested.
I don't see that at all.
You don't see that?
No, I don't.
She,
I see that she's definitely going to give Kylan information, and he's going to give her information. But I just don't feel like it's anything. She's not an aggressive player.
So yeah, I think the distinction to be made is that she is trying to float, but she's doing it passively. Like she's just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Right now, whereas using the information she has, which is a lot, being proactive in the game, she's not doing that yet. Like in order for me to move her up my ranking, I want to see her using that information to get out the people she wants to get out, not just trying to survive until next week.
Right. I guess I see like this early stage, like playing as a floater or a rat, like I wouldn't want to start using my information yet. You know, like I would hold on to it. Like I would do what Sarah Beth is doing right now and playing safe because she like doesn't need to do anything at this current moment with Colin being HOH. She doesn't need to really dictate who he votes out or who he nominates, you know, as long as it's not her. If she's floating, you know, she's not really connected with anybody like that deeply, in which she needs them to stay. But she also proposed Kylan in the bathroom like yesterday, I think, an alliance with Claire, Tiffany, Derek X, and Kylan and Sarah Beth. And that to me is interesting because like it's just an alliance that like seems perfect for her in a sense. Like she would be really good in that little middle alliance. Like I don't know. I think she is proactive. I just don't think that it's like that traditionally proactive.
I love the irony in it all that, you know, we're giving Frenchie so much shit for overplaying in the first week, but we're complaining that Sarah Beth isn't necessarily playing hard enough.
See, I don't think the problem with Frenchie is that he did overplay it. I feel like you could play hard and play good at the same time.
I mean, he almost stumbled into doing that.
Honestly played overplayed and still
I'm actually kind of mad now again. Like I'm like, French, you honestly almost saved yourself again this week, but somehow you didn't do that. Like you actually set it up somehow where people were loyal.
And honestly, I feel like it probably is because there's players like Sarah Beth in the game that aren't playing. So the fact that Frenchie's playing so much is why he's actually being seen as powerful in the game, because there's a bunch of passive players.
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna move Sarah Beth up any higher right now because I do consider the type of game that she wants to play to be a pretty dangerous road to try to get to the end, because the risk that she's taking is potentially becoming a perma pawn, and that's just a dangerous spot to be in, is on the block. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah,
I just need to see her maneuver better, I guess, before I could actually put her higher.
I don't think
if that's the game she's going to play. She's going to have to actually learn how to rat out to the right people and not the wrong people, which I don't feel like she's done yet.
Yeah, I don't think she's done either. I don't think she's done it in a bad way or she's ratted out to the right way, right? I just think that she's honestly in positions where she doesn't need to do anything.
That's only because Kylan won. Because I feel like if somebody else won, she could have been a backup option to go on the block.
Definitely. I mean, she technically is if she and Colin weren't that close. It would have been between her, Brittany, and Derek X that had no affiliation with anyone else. So that is a problem. But it's like she's lucking out right now. There's nothing to say about it. She is safe.
Number 6 is Xavier with a 6.0, down 0.6, down 2 spots. I just feel like he'd rather be on Love Island. That's how I feel.
He would. But I think he is doing an okay job managing the perception that people may have of him possibly being a comp threat, just because he is such a big man. And I mean, normally somebody like that would have already been a target by week 2. So I've got to give him credit there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in a bad spot. For me, with Xavier, I feel like he's one of those players that thinks he's in a better spot than he actually is, though, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think he thinks he's in a better spot with an Alyssa than he actually is.
I just feel like he thinks he's in a better spot in general than like he's in a good enough spot, but he's not as a good enough spot as he thinks he is.
He thinks he's like at the top of the game, but he's like more in the middle right now.
Yeah, and that could breed like being a little too slow as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, for me, I put him a little bit lower because I feel a little disappointed. I had really high hopes. And like maybe it's just because I had higher expectations for like a lawyer that's playing undercover, like he's not a lawyer, right? I thought it would be a much more interesting game, but it's more like, yeah, he's like on Love Island. He's kind of like just going from girl to girl. Well, Whitney to Alyssa, really, and Hannah a little bit, I guess, but not really. I just think he's just here to like tell everyone that he's not for a relationship or a showmance, but he's actively pursuing it at the same exact time. And I don't know. I don't see him working with the Cookout that much either right now, and I don't see him being high up in the slaughterhouse either. He's really in the middle. And
that's a good place.
But he's not playing the middle. That's the problem.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a good place to be, but he's not aware of that. He thinks that he is puppeteering everyone else, sort of.
I mean, what did we expect from a lawyer? I mean, come on.
To be like egotistical and like think that, okay, yes, but also I would expect a lawyer to be like, to know all points, to know all the different like things that people could come with, He's not really doing that. He's kind of overestimating his gameplay right now.
If I was a lawyer and looked like I could be on the cover of Calvin Klein, my ego would probably be through.
You're right. You're right. Circumstances wise, he's playing better than he really should be. Yeah, I agree. But still, like I expect a little bit more. I didn't expect a player that's like constantly wanting a showmance and saying he wants a showmance.
Is he a pre-merge? Here I am.
Pre-merge.
Is he pre or post jury?
I see him as a potential pre-jury, but I also see him as like one of the first jury members as well at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't think he has the chops right now to bring himself further unless he wins out, right? I don't think he can go past much than jury or like first vote of jury. I honestly feel like he's a double eviction kind of guy for me. Like he's the person.
He's a Jeff Schroeder.
Who the hell is that? Who is that?
How you say his last name? Schroeder or Schrader? I think it's Schroeder. You know who I'm talking about, right, Nick?
What kind of player is he?
Is that the one from the show?
That's Jordan's husband.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gone out. He's gone out, I think, twice on doubles.
Well, he's played twice and he's gone out on doubles.
Yeah, right at jury.
I could see that because I feel like he thinks he's set up to go deep in a jury right now.
But no one wants
to keep playing
far.
Kind of like passive, then he might be out in the next
like
2 to 5 rounds or something.
Who is X's number one right now? And who has X as number? Who has X as number one?
Xavier. Yeah.
No one has X as their number one, and X has no one as number one. That's not a good game to have right now. Like, it's just, he really thinks he's playing it really well, and that's what's going to be a problem. Like, he isn't playing badly. It's just he needs to be aware that he has some blind spots going on. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess if Frenchie goes home, Derek F would probably have to
stick to Xavier. Yeah, probably.
That's a good reason for Xavier to push for Frenchie to be out of the house.
Yeah, and I think X already thinks him and Derek F are number ones.
Frenchie going home might actually benefit Xavier a little bit because I feel like maybe Brent might like stick with him a little bit more too. I don't know if that helps him, but like at least it would be like, trusting someone else more. I don't know. But he's in the middle for me as well. Like I put him down a little bit.
Number 5 is Hannah with the 6.3. Up 3 spots, up 0.65. I mean, my thoughts on the live feeds has already been she's very smart, she's very aware, but she's also somebody without a real number one.
Yeah,
real alliances in general.
She's on the verge of being brought into the Cookout, but I think she finds herself on the outside of alliances.
Yeah.
But she definitely has an idea of what's going on in the house. So it's just a matter of working your way into those different
I was just going to say, her and Xavier are very similar in terms of where they are in the house. But the difference is, I think Hannah knows that she's like in this area, right? Like at least she knows. And she also has more to work with because she isn't in alliances. She can start jumping into things and I feel like she is playing invisible really well. Like she's pretty invisible in terms of targets, but like no one wants her like no one wants her out, no one wants her like in alliances. It's like she's there, but it's not like she's not invisible. I don't know how to explain it, but she's playing really well at being just there and also like respectable to win and not like respectable enough to win it.
She's playing a good under the radar game right now.
Yeah,
that has the potential to blossom into. I've got Edgic on my mind, so a more complicated personality. Basically, see her delve into the game a little bit more, moving into those positions. So she's in a good spot. She's not in danger of going home. I don't think she would be the replacement Nam.
Yeah, so, no, I don't think she would be either. I don't think.
And I don't think she needs to win the next HOH.
She doesn't. That's a good thing. I think Hannah is someone that at this current moment, I think she makes it into jury, and I think she has a pretty like deep run, but like I think she falls short maybe right now because of the connections that she has not made yet. But I think she can easily make it past jury, like just because of how she's playing, and she keeps it up.
She's also smarter than everybody in the house, I think.
Yeah.
Which isn't saying much about most of the cats, but
she's smarter than everyone in BB9.
That too. Well, except for maybe Tashawn.
Maybe Tashawn.
Number 4 is Claire with a 6.4. Up 3 spots as well, up 0.6.
I think she's in a similar place to Hannah, except Claire's on a different level strategically. Like she's thinking chess moves in this house. Like she's also aware of where she's at, and she's on the outside of alliances somewhat, but she knows the moves she has to make, and she's proactively trying to put herself into those positions.
I think this is the only outlier for me. I think everything else is sort of around the same area. I think Claire is much lower than this ranking, only because she's lucky that Colin won, because if their team didn't win, I think she would have easily been a target, like an actual target, not just like someone that could go up. It's like everyone wanted her gone. She is good at strategizing with people that she wants to work with, but the other half is completely like doesn't know where she's at. So I think that's why I put her like she's smack in the middle for me. Like I don't think after this week she still needs to win. Like she still needs to win. I don't think she can fly under the radar like Hannah could in this next few weeks. She's gonna be a target.
Isn't there an alliance being formed? Tiffany, Claire, Sarah Beth, Hannah, and DX. Like, isn't that something, or did I misinterpret that?
It's like I think it was an idea brought up by SB, like Sarah Beth to Kyland, and I think that silently they're all kind of are working together and are into this alliance, but it's not.
Oh, Kyland's in with that.
I don't know if it's official. I think Kyland wouldn't. It's the most non-willing, but the 4 of them definitely are.
It would be a very under the radar alliance, like you don't really suspect it, and that would be full of some very intelligent people.
They are
that could do damage in this game.
Derek's intelligent, just not game wise yet. Like he is pretty intelligent on picking up things. It's just like he doesn't know when to say it. He doesn't know how to approach it. Like it's just really clunky, and it sucks because he does have information. Like he's in an alliance. He's in a team with Brett and Whitney, and he's getting information from every single person. But it's just the way he delivers. It's scary. Like I can totally see him say one thing that could bring him on the block or something. You know, just like the assumption that he did something in the first week.
My biggest problem with Claire just remains her actual social game, and even her social game on a strategic level. Because even today and the quick one-on-ones, I felt like her talk with Kylan was by far the most awkward.
Really? I didn't see it. Yes. What happened? Give me a rundown.
I don't know. I just felt like she started off the conversation because Kylan just wanted information from everybody. So she started off the conversation clearly not wanting to give up information, speaking very vaguely. and then decided she would actually name some names. And I don't know, it just came across very awkward. And by the end, I don't think Kylan was even
No
in the
way.
books. It just wasn't really going anywhere.
I
So I just fear that if she's ever actually on the block, I don't know how her actual she's going to be able to get the votes.
I don't know if she'll be able to get herself out. That's the thing. I think people want to work with her, but if she's on the block, she's kind of gone. She's kind of gone. Like she's not able to pull herself out of it. Like I don't think Tiffany will go out her way completely to try to save her. She'll try, but it won't be like Tiffany. Like Claire would have to do a lot to get herself off.
I just realized I had her at an 8.0, and I'm agreeing with everything y'all said. So I don't know why I put her so high.
I mean, honestly, with this,
I mean, it's around the same area in this top, like from 6 or 7 to 3. I mean, 7 to 4, it's kind of interchangeable. 3 too, but
like this week, she's very much safe, obviously, and she might have a really good chance to solidify something bigger. But it's just like prior to this win from Kylan, like she was definitely for me like someone that could have went home, like easily, as like she would have been everyone's target. So
number 3 is Christian with a 6.5. He's up 3 spots. He's up 0.5. I think Alex, you're the one that have him high. Me and Daisy in the middle.
I bulked him in. I bulked him up a little bit. Inflated his rank.
I've got him right in the middle. I mean, he's not in a terrible spot, and he can say things to people and they stick for the most part. Like he's pretty good in conversation with everybody, and he very much can win a competition if he has to.
Yeah. I think I have the mediocre white man like privilege going on here. I gave him a lot of credit because he is this big man who is capable of winning comps, and yet somehow I don't think he was ever a target coming into this week. Like, I don't think anyone really wanted to target Christian truthfully, like actually go after him because of how well he has integrated himself socially, alliance-wise, the way he talks, his personality, like Tiffany likes him. Like, I don't know. I mean, he might not be trusted, but I think that no one's targeting him for a while.
I made this comparison to somebody on one of the orgs I'm playing the other day that Christian looks like David Koresh. You know who David Koresh is?
No, wait. David Koresh?
Koresh, Waco, Texas, the massacre.
Oh my, no. Oh, with the glasses, he was wearing at one point. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Like he has
don't got crazy eyes.
He has a cult. Have you seen his eyes?
They're beautiful.
Like, I mean, like you can't not look into them.
Yeah,
and that's just somebody who, like, I could see him building a cult.
He can start a cult. Yeah, no,
right,
I can see
and
that.
go really far in this game.
He's very charismatic to do that. I think he has all the characteristics to become a really fantastic cult leader, which is great for this game. That's why he's number 1 for me. He could start a cult, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think on the same coin, like he could actually fall for people easily too, because I feel like he was easily swayed by Frenchie.
I don't. I have a theory that I don't think he actually was that falling into Frenchie. Like, I think what he realized was that he was the original target, and he needs to keep that enemy close to him to make sure that he's not the next target, right? So I don't know if Christian was actually, because like there was this one conversation where they're in the slaughterhouse meeting thing, or butcher's meeting, and like everything that Frenchie was saying just didn't make sense, and everyone was kind of like weird about it. But Christian's like really like hyping him up, and I'm like, I think that's fake. That can't be completely like. Maybe I'm just falling for Christian.
But he's just somebody that would also bring information to Frenchie a lot. So that's why I just felt like.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know. This guy's playing. He's also like Kylan, in which that he's in every single person. Like he's dipping his toes in everything. But I feel like he's succeeding a little bit more in the sense that like he isn't a big target. And yet
I feel like his social game is better than some of the people behind him, like Sarah, Xavier, Hannah, Claire. His social game is probably better than all 4 of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like he has really good villain potential.
He does.
Like on the verge of, I don't want to call him a puppet master, but being able to get people to bend to his will. Like I just think, I think that potential is there, and I kind of want to see it happen.
He has potential to like say things to the wrong people and make things like go crazy, but I don't know if he's like I don't know if he's puppet master material per se. He's persuasive, but I don't know if he actually like will get people to do things for him. He's not there. I don't know like who's his number one? Alyssa?
Alyssa, probably.
Probably. But like that doesn't hold much weight. Like having her as number one doesn't do anything to me. Like it doesn't help him. I don't know. I like the fact that he was playing Derek and Frenchie and like, you know, I just feel like there's possibility that he's like just playing really well and he's gonna continue playing really well. He's not gonna do much to ruin his game.
Yeah.
He told Colin he thought Derek F was the one who did the rogue vote, but in a way that wasn't like I'm ratting him out. It was just like that's why I hear from Frenchie or whatever. Like just the way he says things and delivers information, it's very subtle. It's not like I'm ratting someone out. It's pretty good information and it's not delivered badly.
Number 2 is Azza with a 6.9. She's up 1 spot. She's down 0.2 in her score. She's a hard one for me.
Me too.
I mean,
yeah, she's in a good spot. I don't really know what her game.
No
where
idea.
she's going with her game.
she's gonna win on cooking alone.
She's gonna win alone. She's gonna win by sitting in her bed and listening to people talk to her. That's all I've seen from her is listening to people and giving them like really blunt reactions. Like she has a weird poke. She's a bad poker face. Like when Frenchie's talking to her, she's very annoyed. Clearly, same with Brittany.
And yet they both talk to her. They talk to her all the time, though.
They do, but I'm like, you're annoyed. Like you look annoyed. Like I don't know. Like it's just like you look like you don't want to talk to them. So I don't know.
Well, it is usually at like fucking 3 a.m, so that's probably why.
Also true.
Now, I don't know if this was strategy on her part, but she has a very strategic location as far as her bed position is. Like right there at that door where everybody comes in and out. And I think that's maybe why she's in her bed all the time. Like that's people just come to her because
that's
of where
so
her bed is
genius.
located.
That's if that was planned, that's genius. That's amazing. I don't know if it is, but like it's a good spot.
If she says that I'm bumping her so far up, and people have done that, like there's strategy in picking bed locations or picking which bed you want.
Wow.
And if the reason why she doesn't get out of bed is because everybody comes to her, and that was her reasoning for choosing that bed, that is solid strategy.
That would be good strategy, and that would be very respectable. I feel like the reason why she's higher on my list as well, she's playing the same game as like Brittany, like very under the radar, but she has enough respect from everybody that like she's not someone that they want to target. You know, it's not like for some reason they're like no one ever is going to be like, well, Oz is an option. Like it's just not an option. And she's not working with anybody really, even with the cookout. Like she's not really that in with anybody completely all the time. So I'm very interested in seeing where her game is as well.
Yeah, I don't know her end game, but I feel like right now she's definitely the person that comes out of people's mouths the least.
Well, you know, we all know what her plan coming into the house was, or before the first,
which is coming to fruition.
Well, it was to throw the first HOH and then target the first HOH. But Frenchie won the first HOH, so that plan was immediately out the window. And
it's already coming into fruition.
Yeah, I think she can do it now, but I think just that first week, her plan was thrown so off that she just really didn't know what to do and just needed to step back for a moment.
Adjust. Yeah.
Right. And I think she's done a good job. I mean, it's right in front of her now if she wants to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think she has the power of saying things very bluntly, and yet no one's like mad about it. Like her saying to Frenchie, like, I'm not gonna play like you did on the first HOH, should drive Frenchie to the wall, like, get my girl out. Like, I don't care, this queen needs to go. Like,
I mean, he's the one person that eventually talks about getting her out, but he's like the only one.
Oh, he did?
Who did that?
Frenchie. But that was before.
French is just Frenchie. But I just feel like Azza gives off the energy that like whatever she says, people will take to heart, but also won't be like, I need to get her out. Like for some reason, I just feel like Azza's really good at doing stuff like that. giving opinions, giving her, you know, her thoughts, but like never ever being personal for some reason.
Yeah, she's high on my list, but not quite top 3. But I do think that
She's number 3.
Yeah, she's just very safe right now. So
she's safe. Yeah.
And I really do think it is on the strength of her cooking alone, because these white people never had those flavors before, so they don't know. I
really love her energy. I really hope her and Derek X get closer. Like, I know Azah has good feelings for him, but I just don't know. They haven't been talking that much lately.
Wasn't there a potential showmance between those two?
There was this one night where like I was talking about it, I think, about like them teaching X how to floss. I saw the energy. I was like, Azah's feeling him and he's feeling her, but I think their age difference is a little bigger. So I don't know if it's like an actual thing. I think Hannah and Derek X are actually more closer now in that sense. But Azah is still like, she's just wonderful as well, like to be around. I'm interested in seeing how she plays this.
Well, Tiffany is number 1, still by far, with an 8.3. She's up 0.2.
Wow.
Quite high on our list. I mean,
9.
Deservedly so, but I also will say I gave her, I would put her a little bit lower. Like as we're going, I gave her a 9, but I was debating giving her an 8. I wanted to sort of humble her a little bit, because my problem is that it's not her. It's not what
she's already humble. Like she's not like Xavier.
No, I'm not saying she needs to humble. I'm saying like she needs to. The house needs to like not look at her right now, because like she's playing brilliantly. She deserves to win right now. Like at this current moment, she deserves to win. But because of the factor, I brought this up last time, that she is so liked and she is that everyone wants to kind of work with her. She is gonna be a target like very soon.
Yeah.
She's gonna be someone that everyone's like, well, everyone likes her. Get her out. Like I don't want her here. You know. And that's what I'm really sad about. I'm like, dude, I don't want people to start noticing it. If you remember BB9, who was that one chick who was kind of doing well and then all of a sudden just like left on week 3?
Oh yeah.
You say BB9?
BB9. Sorry.
Oh.
Latoya. It was She dominated.
But they're very different players.
They're very different
no.
players. But in the beginning, everyone was like, "Oh, we stand Latoya," which deservedly so. But she was too loud, and like in the gameplay, she did too much. Tiffany hasn't done that yet.
Right.
I can see that happening. It's because of how much everyone likes her so far.
A good move for her this week is not playing too strongly, but keep Frenchie in the house.
Yeah,
which is what she wants. She wants to only do that if she could get Brent out.
Yes, I don't
more
think
focus on Frenchie keeps it off of her.
Because like, but the thing is, this rogue vote has become such a big like problem in terms of like who did it. Frenchie staying in the house is just gonna be like, I mean, there's no merit to his words. So even if he does say something, like Tiffany could easily be like, that did not happen. Like you're making shit up. You fucking get the fuck out. Or she could be like, Frenchie told me like to do this, like specifically told me to do this. So it could help her in that way.
Well, she's already tried to say that it was Brent and Whitney, and that's why she wanted Brent and Whitney on the block today, but because she wants Brent out.
Okay, so that's dangerous. That's kind of dangerous. You don't think? Like if Frenchie starts saying,
it's dangerous, but it's not as dangerous because it's Frenchie.
Yeah, and it's also Collins HOA. Like she's good this week. She is. I'm just scared for her. Like preacher. Like I'm really hoping that they don't like someone doesn't come to the senses of like, I want to get Tiffany out because she will go to the end and win it. Like someone's gonna think that. Hannah could think that, and she likes Tiffany right now. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't see that happening like in the immediate future.
Okay,
she's I think post-jury.
Brent, people want Tiffany gone. Like I think people already want her gone. I
feel like she slides to jury easily.
She could, yeah, unless Brent wins. Like unless Brent wins and stays in the house. You know, like I don't know. Like it's still possible.
I think there's so many people that would pull her off of the block.
I think so. I don't know if they pull her.
Also true.
People that wouldn't vote her out just yet.
Right. Also true. Yeah. There was, you know, one of the things I hated hearing most was like Brent was telling Christian and Alyssa. Brent was like, I was watching a lot last night. I'm getting really obsessed in this really bad. But Brent was like, Tiffany, I don't know why everyone's saying like they don't want Tiffany out because she's a mother. I don't give a fuck that she's a mother. Like I want her gone. Like he said something like along those lines, and I'm like, people are gonna catch up onto that. Like people are gonna be like, that is true. Like I don't care. Get out. You know, like it's not happening.
It's hard to take Brent's word though because Brent's so stupid. Yesterday he thought fucking Frenchie threw one of the votes and he couldn't even vote.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
I love the way she's playing. I think she's in a great spot, and I don't think she has to worry about anything.
Not yet.
I don't even think she should have a target. I think her goal for this week is just keep Frenchie, and if that's not possible, just let everything fall how it may and get on to the next week.
Yeah, she does need to do that.
Yeah.
She's just a player the show needs. They don't cast actual smart strategists.
That is also really good at social game. Like, yeah, like she's so good at playing strategically that she's not really being like, no one's really pegging her as like the strategic one, right? You know, like she's a super fan, and yes, she's still kind of under the radar in that aspect. She's just great, and I love her reads. I love her rants, the way she talks, everything about her. She's amazing. Would love to see her win the money and bring it home to her kids.
I know Meg's always given me shit about crushes. Well, Tiffany is now a super crush. Like just
Really?
everything about her. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's playing this game really well.
Confident.
I love her sass, just everything about it. Perfect.
I love her Frenchie impression. Like, I hate Frenchie, but I would love to see her do Frenchie impressions for the rest of my life. I really would. It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's just she's a breath of fresh air in a long decade and a half of shitty players on.
She needs to win, and that's the only reason why I am scared for her, because if I can recognize that, like I'm sure someone else in the house is gonna start to recognize that and want her gone. That's what I'm scared about. Like if I was in the house, like I would recognize how cool and awesome she is, and I'd be like, okay, I kind of want her gone.
But it's a hard thing to do that early.
That is true. So I think she definitely does survive in past jury, but
I think she has to be a double eviction boo.
Oh, that would be so painful.
Anybody who wants to take a shot at her has to do it during the double eviction.
I would hate to see that.
Oh, I would too, but that's when you can get her. That's when she's going to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh my God. For some reason, I'm already panicking for that. I'm already anxious for that outcome.
Well, any final thoughts?
A great season still. Like nothing's been like this. Next week is gonna be great. Obviously, we're only on Friday, but seems like it's gonna be eventful again. With
there's still a lot of promise for this season. As much negativity as Nick has been throwing at it for the past 3 or 4 days, it really is.
Are you negative about this season?
It's mediocre.
I've been watching his feed.
It's mediocre.
It has potential. Like this first week was an absolute mess of a mess of a person, but I feel like there's going to be some gems in this cast that are really going to make this show so much better.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
For some reason, this first week was like Victoria's Invisible HOH. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is actually happening in this damn show?
Speaking of Spicy V, I feel like your prediction of Derek F is pretty accurate because I hate him almost as much as I hate him.
Yes, that's two of them. Spicy V vibes and the phlebotomist being probably the best social player in the house.
You had some good pre-game predictions, Dazed.
What was the second one, Dazed?
That Tiffany is a phlebotomist and she's probably going to have one of the best social games in the house.
Oh, wow! That you had that pre-game?
Yes. Dazed has been pretty good this season.
That's really good. Keep it coming. What's your next prediction here?
That's what's your next prediction?
Yeah.
I was almost completely right on my prediction last week with Derek X.
Yeah, you were
taking off Kylan.
Just when Derek got picked for the veto, I was like, "Oh shit, here we go! It's gonna happen!" And then he won it by inches, mind you.
By inches.
That veto game, the veto comp. You go back and watch it. Derek
Was Alyssa
X,
close?
yeah, he beat her by inches. Like
I for some
hers hit
reason
the
I was
end, like maybe that much.
they didn't they did not edit that way.
They didn't edit it that way. You
I
had
didn't
to
even see
specifically look for it.
Alyssa. Like I knew Alyssa was doing well, but I was like, what happened? Like Derek X seemed like he just won that, but like I didn't know they were inches away. Wow, she
Yeah,
wasn't. I thought she was lying when she said that. Later
It shows
on.
that hers hit inches away, and not a second or two after that, his rolls in. It
Oh
was inches
wow!
and seconds.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
it
would
was
have
super
gone home
close.
against Kyland. That would have changed the entire like. Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I totally moved you away from my predictions, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of going. I want to see Brent win veto and take Frenchie off.
No, get out.
No, it helps. It helps Tiffany's game without her having to do anything.
But
I don't know if it does.
I don't know. Why do you think it helps Tiffany's game that much?
I
don't think it
Frenchie
hurts her
staying
game.
in the. I think she's such a good player. She's gonna need those chaotic, easy boots in front of her.
Okay, sure.
That they go before, and Frenchie is currently that person. As long as he's in the house, she's not going home.
See, as I love Tiffany, I want her to win, but also Frenchie staying creates a lot of problems with like other players. And I don't know if I really want. I don't know if it balances out enough. Like I'd rather Frenchie just go and Tiffany will be able to readjust. You know what I'm saying? Like she's more than capable of readjusting to a life without Frenchie. Fuck that. Like fuck Frenchie. We don't need Frenchie for Tiffany to win this game. Plus, Tiffany can do whatever the fuck she wants. I'm sorry for cursing, but
if Frenchie goes, we don't have daily rants from Nick anymore from the live feeds.
I like when Nick's more positive anyway. I like positive Nick anyway. I don't care.
I'm sure I could always find somebody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. It seems like the house is splitting in a very odd way. Not necessarily the best way though, because if it's going to be all guys and a couple girls on one side and all girls and one guy on the other side, it's kind of like the HOHs usually favor guys. The comps in this fucking show.
We'll see.
But I mean, Kylan won it, and he played it very middle. Like so, I mean, you never know what happens. I feel like Christian winning HOH also might not be so one-sided either for some reason.
I mean, do we even make it through a Christian HOH without everybody drinking the Kool-Aid and dying on the show? I mean, it's definitely a cult leader. It's going to happen.
Shut up. That's not happening.
Well, I'll go ahead and end it there.
Yes, end it on serial killers and cult leaders.
Yes.